Abby is already like succeeding in her game, and I'm up for it. You see this crying already three times since yesterday night to this afternoon. My God. Now let's get into the video. A lot is already happening from like this morning. First of all, let's talk about Kivo, because I don't think that Kivo was wrong. But the thing is, I feel like the way he passed the information is what they had issues with. So since yesterday when they came in, they've been littering around the house and all of those things. And literally, so he was saying his anger was that some ladies used to put their lashes on the sink, and then some people, after cleaning their face with the makeup wipes, that one person dropped it in the laundry basket where he kept his boxer to wash, and these stuff stained his boxer. So when he was talking, you could see that this guy is the OCD guy of the season, because he was actually literally struggling to breathe. He was hyperventilating, and he was like, I've told you guys to stop this. He was coming off as if he was being authoritative and all of that. But what actually got my attention was the way that all the housemates were reacting to it and everything. But the only person who stood up for him was Godessa with the poker face. So Godessa was like telling them that, and he doesn't think that Kivo was actually scolding them, that he was just more or less, trying to, people have different way of manner and approach of, saying something that she thinks that Kivo is making a point. But some of them are now saying that no, how you pass the message across is the issue and all of that. But that one is aside. Now let's go to the main gist by Abby. I feel like Abby is playing a subtly manipulative game. And for people who are saying that she's from the street, like because she's majorly speaks pidgin and all of that, Abby is smart. Abby married a white man. You think that she will not be smart enough. Abby is actually quite smart. And look, see what happened. First of all, what the story that they told before the camera showed on them was that the ladies, Biggie gave them a task, they're going to do their tasks in groups. There is a group of male and group of female, right? So the male started yesterday night to practice there. So the women are actually lagging behind. So they were in the garden, rubbing minds, talking about stuff and all of that. So they said that Neche, which is a lawyer, was the one speaking at the time, trying to make a point. So they said when Abby walked in, Abby sat for a while, and then she just went in. And Abby had a loud voice and all of that. So she was just talking. She wanted the attention to go. So Neche was not saying that, okay, I am talking. Did you expect me to stop talking and give you the attention you needed? So the whole conversation, the whole whatever heated, because the both of them, remember that yesterday when Neche was also introducing herself, she also said that she also has a loud voice. So the whole thing, they were just clashing. Then the next thing, Abby started crying. Okay, I think what happened is that I think they said at some point when she was talking, Neche was like, I beg, shift, something like that. Abby started crying. As I started crying, you could tell that this season, almost all the housemates have watched this game, because tell me exactly why. Neche immediately went into panic mode. You are not wrong. Per se, because from what we heard, you were talking and then this girl was interrupting you, and you were trying to maintain structure, and all of that to the conversation, and trying to let her know that okay, something is already going on. Why pause it because you are here? Why don't you wait when I finish all of that, then you can blend into the conversation, something like that. So you're not really wrong, but the way she now went into panic mode, she was now over explaining herself too much, because, and I think what she was trying to avoid was because she had said in her introduction yesterday that she does not like bullies, and I think she also said it in her introduction videos. So, and people, because Neche has a very big personality, like physically, not just presence wise. Yes, she speaks so well, she's a lawyer, she carries herself so well, but she has a very big personality physically. And then remember what happened earlier on in the former season between Coin and K-Bobo, when K-Bobo almost got that bully tag, So I think Neche was like in her head, what if, because obviously now Abby is presenting herself to be that local girl, that with her speaking and her appearance and all of that, this one is Ajepako, then Neche as Ajibota, trying to shush this person. And then just even when some other girls were telling her to calm down, you see that she was literally over explaining, over shalaing, trying to let them know that look, this is what happened, I didn't do anything, I didn't do all of those things. And then the next thing, she even went to go and hug Abby. That was when I knew that she was literally panicking, in a panic mood, because you could see that she was hugging Abby, but she was angry that she's hugging Abby, because this is something that's outside of the house, you're not going to do it, but she had to do it. She had to do it, and it's giving off what I don't know, Abby. And the truth of the matter is that Abby has this subtle manipulative personality. I don't know if you have seen it, and that even Abby said in her introduction yesterday that this is a game. So this is a game for her. This girl is already playing game from the day one. Now look at it this way, right? She by herself is not swaying a lot of women. She's not coming out outrightly to do it, but subtly, in a very subtle manner, she's getting the ladies to be on her side, and you could see them running around her and all of that. But let's see how far she can actually play this her emotional manipulation. She feels because she the conversation, she feels like someone who would manipulate conversations, people who are manipulative in conversations. I don't know about manipulation in every other aspect, but in conversations that that she has had and all of that. And I hope it works out well for her. And because I actually really love her personality. And then speaking of Abby, and I'm going to even speak about Chimsom. Let me say congratulations to her. She finished. She is the deputy head of house. She finished the fastest time amongst the women, and then Chimsom finished with the fastest time to become the head of house. Now Chisom's own is the one that is also getting me to a point of Chisom is a manipulative person. Yes, Chisom, the one that you watch Odogu's if you watch Odogu Para, that is love in every word. The person that acted as Odogu's brother, younger brother, right? Yes, is the guy I'm talking about. Chimsom is actually a very manipulative person in conversation too. She has this Abby's game style, but in a very subtle way and not in a loud way that Abby is already a loud personality. Because why did I say so is because of the conversation that he had this morning with Temi. Temi is a 22-year-old, bubbly, soft girl and all of that. So yesterday, I think there was she was the one. Okay, she's a Londoner actually. She was born and brought up in London and all of that. So she was the one that read the brief yesterday when Big Brother gave them the brief yesterday. So and you know what, the brief stirred up a lot of stuff that yesterday. So and a lot of things were said. So the way Chisom was not telling her that the way she was talking yesterday, that when she's talking, she was more like less playing Big Brother, the OZ and OC but the way kind of game style, advising her, telling her that the way you're speaking, you might come off as rude and all of that. The girl is telling her, I'm not rude and all of that. See, this girl is as much triggered as much as you were yesterday. You reacted, but then again, you want her to playing the big brother of the house. He has done it to a couple of guys and a couple of ladies, and I don't know how far he can play that game, because it's going to be a very beautiful game if he can play it. If he can play it very well, he's going to last in the house like OC and Ozim, by the way. But the person I'm looking out for is Abby. I'm looking out for Neche, because the big personalities in the house are beginning to show up, and so far so good. I am seeing I see Shiba. Yes, I see Shiba. So I see Shiba, I see Abby, I see Temi in a way, because I want to see that dynamic of if she will allow herself shine. Then there is Chisom, then there is Neche, and who else? Yeah, pretty much that's the big personalities in the house already. Now this is CTF Media, and I will see you all in the next video. What do you think about today's fight, and what do you think about the head of house, and what do you think about Chisom? Am I the one overthinking this thing? And then between Abby and Neche, who was actually wrong? Right to this.